Lovely day, everybody. This is going to be more of a lengthened, stretchy sort of leg-focused, easy, breezy, fun thing. So, meet me on the mat. Find yourself in Virasana, sitting on the heels. If your butt can't get on the heels, that's fine. Just find something that you can tuck underneath the butt so that you're sitting on something that's allowing you to really sit down. So if you're up here, just put a block, a blanket, a pillow, whatever you've got. And take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Let yourself sink on the out breath. Just going to breathe here for about 10 seconds. Let yourself settle down. Once you feel centered, you're going to take the hands on the fingertips, put them behind the toes. I like touching my pinkies together. It just gives me a little bit of grounding. Kind of closes the stretch so I can open some more. On the in-breath, lift the chest up, but keep your butt on whatever your butt is on. Open toward the ceiling and roll your shoulder blades down and in toward the heart. Your biceps should roll out and your triceps should roll in. So the biceps kind of go weep, weep. Might get a few cracks in your back if you're me, maybe if you're you. And just breathe here. Breathe in, roll the biceps out, chest goes up. Breathe out and hold. Breathe in, roll the biceps out, chest goes up. Maybe gaze up and hold. One more time, breathe in, biceps roll out, shoulders roll back, chest goes up, and breathe out. Slowly come back down. Not a big movement body-wise, but it just starts to open everything up. So similar, but different. Take the heel of your hand and either to the center of your foot, so you're coming over the heel like this, or if you like I do, I put it on the ball of my foot. Same thing with the other side, might have to scoot your butt up a little. Keep the knees down for this one, but lean back. Should feel your hip flexors open up a little. Roll the biceps out, roll the chest up, shoulders back, shoulder blades in and down. Just breathe here. Keep your core in. If you feel any crunchiness in the back, try to push down through the shins and maybe lean forward with the hips just a little. Breathe in and breathe out. Take your hands off to the side. Don't come up. And then come up. You can use the hands to kind of roll yourself forward. Just keeps it a little more safe. So you're not plopping down, you're not opening up. Breathe here for about 5 more seconds. We're going to go back into that. But we're going to lift up the knees this time. Now, if you have tweaky knees, don't do that. Just do the one we just did. Don't hurt yourself. But if you can, find the balls of the feet or the middle of the feet. Roll the chest up. Lift the hips off the feet. And lift the knees off the ground. Doesn't matter how far. It can be very small. If you really want to go for it, you start to lean back. Push through the hands. Chest, gaze might go up. Keep the knees sealed together. You can breathe easy. Roll the shoulders open while pushing the blades in and down. Look up. We're going to hold for another 3 big breaths. So in and out. In, squeeze the butt, and out. In, seal the knees together if they're coming apart, and out. Hands behind the toes. Replace the hips. Roll up. Roll forward into tabletop. Pat the knees. Wiggle the shins. There's probably a big release coming, so be careful. Probably a long line of this fascia just kind of opening up. Back into Virasana. Don't worry, we're not doing that one again. And if you weren't worried, lovely. Maybe roll it back, do it again. Open up the arms, very big. Take a deep breath in. Good. Just let the shoulders come back. All right, find yourself in a tabletop. Bring the right knee into your chest. Scoot the left knee back as far as you can where it's comfortable. Untuck the left toes. Have your feet about hips distance if they were together, but they're pretty far apart. And then just maybe you can push back with the knee a little more. Come up into Anjaneyasana, lunge pose. Pull your core in. Bring your hands up. Interlace. What you want to do here is push down through your right heel and lift up the toes, just to make sure you're not pushing too much through the front of the foot. Pull your core in. You can replace the foot, but keep the pressure through the heel and sink down. We don't want to sink forward yet. Just sink down. Put the hips into concrete. Sink them down into the sand, whatever image gets you. Sink them down. Maybe you can scoot the left knee back a little more. That's why we sink down and not forward. Sink down. Scoot the left knee back. Squeeze into the left glute. If the hands above the head is too much, put them behind the head. Sometimes that opens the psoas even more without tweaking the back. Can lean back, lean your head back. Now, put your hands on your right knee. Don't come out of the stretch yet. Brace yourself with the right hand on the right knee. Lift your left foot up. Turn toward the back and grab the foot on the inside. If this hurts the knee, pause it. Get something to put underneath the knee. Knee pain, not necessary. If you can, roll the fingers on top of the toes and pull the foot in. If you can't roll the fingers, that's fine. You just will have less of a shoulder stretch. You can do it like this and pull the foot in as much as you can. Squeeze the left glute. That should really open up the hip flexors. And again, sink down. If you can roll the fingers over the toes, pull it in, sink down, lift the chest, and just breathe. Deep breath in. Extend through the chest, turn it, square it to the front of the mat. Now you can sink into the foot if you like. Lean forward. Careful. Not too much too quickly. Deep breath in. Release on the exhale. Slowly back to the ground. Don't let it slingshot if you can. Good. Hands on the ground. Find yourself in tabletop. Move your hips side to side. Feel the difference in the hip flexors. Plant the hands. Left knee into the chest. Scoot your right knee back. Go to the second side. Push into your left knee with your left hand. Right hand and left knee as well. Scoot back the right knee as much as possible. Just extend the chest up first. Start squeezing through the right glute. Interlace your hands the opposite way, just for symmetry if you can. Squeeze through the right glute. Arms next to your ears. You can send them back behind if you can do that. If you're a little forward, that's okay. Just be careful. Make sure your shoulders aren't subluxing. Roll the biceps back. Wherever you are, just hold it. Take a deep breath in and sink down. Remember, we want to go this direction. Up and down. We're not going forward yet. Don't lose the core. Scoot your knee back, your right knee if you can. Squeeze through your right glute. pull through the left heel. Breathe. Again, if you don't want the hands up, interlace behind the head. Start gazing up. Sink back with the head while your hips sink down. Keep the core tight. Squeeze through the right glute. Feel the release in the hip flexor. Two more breaths. Squeeze the right glute. Lengthen across the front of the body. Exhale. Come up with the chest a little bit. Take your left knee with both hands. Lift the right foot off the ground. Turn your chest. Take it from the inside. Again, if you can't roll the hand, just pull it in. Square your shoulders to the front as best as possible. Feel the stretch. It should go all the way from here, all the way down. If you can roll the hand, roll it over the toes. Careful. Square the shoulders to the front and pull it in. Your shoulder should feel comfortable here if you're rolling it over the toes. If it doesn't feel comfortable, don't do it. Even if you can get into it, it's not worth it. Make sure your core is pulling in to protect the lower back. And just breathe. You can even let it go back and pull it in. Let it go back, pull it in. Let it go back, pull it in, and hold it here. 3 deep breaths. Squeeze through the right glute, sink down, pull it in, and sink forward for the last breath. On the exhale, let it go. Control the foot back to the floor. Replace the hands. Rock the hips. Come forward. You can take a plank if you want to get an extra push-up in for the day. You never know, that extra push-up might make the difference. Find yourself onto your forearms, not in plank pose. Untuck the heels. Make sure that untuck the toes. Make sure the whole top of the foot comes down flat. So don't just be on the big toe. Roll it out so that your inner thighs go up. Squeeze the butt a little bit. And then take your elbows. Same thing as the heel of the hand. Pull them back with your hands up off the ground. If you're doing that and you're pulling yourself but you're not moving anywhere, you're doing it well. Then you can replace the hands. Look forward, lift the chest. Same thing with the chest. You want it pulling up first and then pull it through the gateway of your shoulders. Shoulder blade should come down and then push into the heart. You can see how much I'm pushing. I'm actually shaking. My pelvis is on the floor because I'm trying to stretch the psoas here. If this isn't enough for you, since this is pretty much where we're going to end, squeeze the butt, make sure it's protecting the lower back, and extend up onto the hands. And then you'll do the same thing now. You're just pushing into the ground, pulling back with the hands. Nothing changes in the shoulders. Keep them rolling back. Make sure you don't make the mistake of pushing forward into the hands. You want them pulling back so that you're stretching out through the abs, squeezing your glutes, releasing the lower back by rolling up the thighs, pushing the feet down into the ground. One more big breath here. If you want, you can even look up, stretch the neck. Exhale, come on down to the forearms. Head down to the ground. Push yourself back into child's pose. Let your back kind of just melt. And by melt, I mean strengthen into all that you just did. I like leaning onto one of my forearms, lifting the other up. Point the biceps up to the ceiling. Switch. That's just a gentle little side stretch. Come down onto the heels as much as you can. Do that as many times as you like. Big breath out. And just feel it go the way you need it to go. I'll leave you here. Hopefully this helped you feel a little bit more loose. And you can take that fluidity with you through the rest of your day or your whatever next workout. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Peace.